Today, I'm about to commit the worst sin a reader can commit. I'm about to judge a book only by its cover. Why am I committing this cardinal sin? Pham is like one of the biggest booktubers on booktube. But the thing is, girly reads a lot. Like, I get a lot of book recommendations from her and I like the vibe she brings, so I'm like, oh yeah, I want to read it. But then she read like 80 books just last year and I'm like, I can't keep up with that.
Wait for me, I got little legs.
So, I'm going to go through every book she read last year and in one-ish sentence, explain whether I would read this book based solely on the cover. So 1 being, I will never read this book, and 5 being, yeah, this is definitely on my 2025 TBR. So the first book she read is Abby Jimenez's Just for the Summer. Oh my god, I just saw that Emily Henry complimented the book, but the problem is I recently started to decide I don't think I like Emily Henry books. Like, if this has the same vibe as Funny Story, I know I'm not gonna like it. But I do like the chick flick genre of books, so this would be like a solid 3. Like, I might read it, I might not read it, based on my vibe at the time. The next book is Encyclopedia of Fairies. I have no idea what this book could possibly be about. Like, it could be a fantasy story, or it could just be someone that actually thought it would be cool to make an encyclopedia of like all the fictional fairies they could come up with. Because look how well designed the cover is. Like, it looks like somebody just really wanted to draw fairies. Just from the title alone though, I'm gonna go with it being an actual encyclopedia and say like, I'm most likely not gonna read it. Like, probably 2 stars at most. Yellowface. This book is everywhere. I don't even know like what to expect out of it because it's just eyes given. It's like eyes given like stank eye like. But the thing is, I recognize the cover from everywhere on Book Talk and Goodreads, so it's probably good. Especially because R.F. Kuang is like a really famous author. Like, I think she wrote Babel. So it's probably good, but the cover gives nothing away. So I'd say like a 3 in the likeliness that I would read it. Sarah J. Maas. I'm sad because here's my thing. Book Talk will die for her. Like, I don't know if this is part of the ACOTAR series because this is a Crescent City, so maybe it's not. But I want to get into Sarah J. Maas, but I can't get into ACOTAR. It's like 10 books already. Like, if I join the fandom and start reading it now, every time I'm surprised by something, people will be like, oh, that happened like decades ago. I just feel like I have missed all the hype for ACOTAR, but if this is a new series, I could jump on it. Like, here's the thing, I'm down for the hype because I know Sarah J. Maas is gonna serve, but the question is, can I commit to reading a giant book in a giant book series? I'd say 3.5. Like, cause I know it's gonna serve. I know it's gonna be good. The Wishing Game. Is it like a library? I have no idea what this could be about. Is it a romance? If it was a romance, they'd be like a boy and a girl on it. The title does not give me anything. Like, I don't know what it would be about. If I was in a bookstore, I'd probably just pass by it. So like 1 star. The rom-comers. This is going in like the solid 3 stars where it's like a simple romance probably. It's gonna be all based on how much you like the characters in the book. So it could either be like fantastic or you just hate it and be sick of the romance. A Court of Silver Flames, Sarah J. Maas. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get into this chick, so 3.5. I could read this. I've read Butcher and Blackbird. If you want to see my thoughts on it, you should check out my video. Self-plug. Same time next summer. I know what to expect. I know it's gonna be like 2 people falling in love. They might have a complex backstory, but other than that, I feel like I know the plot. They end up together. So it's like a 3. Like, I would enjoy it if I'm going on vacation, if I'm busy with schoolwork and I don't want anything that like is super stressful. Sarah J. Maas. Like, yeah, 3.5. Should I just start reading Sarah J. Maas's book? The thing is, I don't know if I should start with ACOTAR or just jump into like a Crescent City novel. Bride, Ali Hazelwood. I've read one Ali Hazelwood book, and while like I felt like it was cliche, I could not put it down. Like I read it all day, finished it in one day. So I know she has a hold over me. I don't know what the hold is, but I know she has me in like a chokehold. Do you know where that's from? If only I had told her. This is a picture. I feel like somebody dies in this. Honestly, I'd probably put this back 1 star. Wildfire, Hannah Grace. Okay, she wrote Icebreaker. I also read Icebreaker. So you want to see my thoughts on that? Check out my video. Self plug. For a Maple Hills novel. For I could read this. I would read this. Let's be honest. Frederick Backman, Anxious People, Beer Town. Did he write A Man Called Ove or Uwe? Because if he did, if he's the one that wrote that, 5 stars. I would eat this up with a spoon. The Great Gatsby. I've read this book. I don't understand why people like it. And apparently F. Scott Fitzgerald didn't even write it. Apparently his wife wrote it. Dauphin du Maurier, Rebecca. I don't know which part of this is the title and which part is the author. Like, is it like Zendaya, Beyonce, Rebecca? Or is the author Dauphin du Maurier? Either way, it has a person on the cover. I'd put this right back. Lane Moriarty, Apples Never Fall. This is like one of the books you get on like the stalls at Shoppers, where you don't think it would be a banger. You'd only really grab it if you're going like on a plane. 1 star, I'd put it right back. Happily Never After. Ooh, I kind of like it. Oh shit, my bad. I think they're objecting at a wedding, bro. But the question is, who are they objecting for? Because both the bride and the groom look pissed. This is a banger. This is 5 stars. Like, I'm gonna read this. Prisoner's Throne. Honestly, 0. It looks like I made it on Canva. Like the Photoshop here on the ring, 0. I'd put it right back. I know that I like Hallie Hazelwood's work. 4 stars. Half a Soul. This gives me nothing. I don't know. Like, whimsical, witty, and brimming over with charm. It has a scissors and a moon. Like, what am I supposed to get from that? 1 star, I'd put it back. The Villa. Okay, I don't know why, but whenever I see like lemons on a book cover, it makes me think it's gonna be the story of a like woman and she's gonna grow up, specifically in Mexico. Is that the plot? Depends how serious a mood I'm in. Because if I've read too many like rom-coms and I'm tired of that, I could see myself picking this book up. 3 stars. The Blonde Identity. Like, if I saw this book on a bookshelf, I feel like if all the stars align properly, I would jump at the chance to get it. But if the stars are not aligned, I would be like, no, it looks like it'd be too try hard. This could be like a 1 star or a 5 star. The Reappearance of Rachel Price, Holly Jackson, a good girl's guide to murder. Okay, I haven't read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I know that it's like a really famous book. Everyone swears that it's good. Haley Pham was talking about this, and they said it's about a woman that like her mom disappeared and then came back like maybe 15 years later. I see it being 2.5. Like, it could be good, but it'll be like very serious. Like, people might die. I might have to get ready for heartbreak if I'm picking up this book. The Rule Book. I'm telling you, every book that has this kind of setup, like the cartoon with the 2 people on the cover, it's 3 stars. It's just dependent on my mood and how many other similar books I've read. Binding 13, no. It has people on it. Like, I know that it got republished, so this is not the cover anymore, but this is the cover Haley Pham showed. Oh no, actually, I said no, but then I got the book on like my iPad. So technically, yes, this cover made me want to read this book. Tress of the Emerald Sea. I don't know, like the cover is not speaking to me. Like, she's a girl on an island in the sea with the big moon behind her. It's really kind of a read if you want to know more kind of cover. Sorry, no. 1 star. Ali Hazelwood, 4 stars. No. I've also read this book. If you want to know my thoughts on it, check out my video. Thank you for listening. This does not look like a book cover. It looks like a poster. I'd put it back. Love interest. Again, 3 stars. Powerful. Elementary school me would eat this up. Like, that was when I was reading the entire Aragon series, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. Like, middle school me would eat this up. Current me is just wondering about how big the book is. Can I commit that much time to the book? Probably not. Like, 1 star. The Ministry of Time, it literally just has the name. Like, it could be alternate universe. It could be space travel because the background has stars. It could literally be anything. I don't know what this is. I'd put it right back. 1 star. No, like, it's a picture. It's white. I don't know why. White books make me cold. No. Emily Henry. Just the fact that the name Emily Henry's on it makes me feel like I won't like it. I know I think I liked like 1 Emily Henry book, but I didn't like Book Lovers or Funny Story. I don't think I liked Beach Read. I don't know if I read People We Read on Vacation. She's just not my girl, which is crazy because she's everyone else's girl. This summer will be different. Clary Fortune. I read Every Summer After, and that book is like the exact same book. Like, it has the exact same plot, the exact same story, the exact same storyline as like a completely different other book. You should read, like, go on Goodreads and just read the comments and just see the comparisons between it and like a different book. I can't remember the name, but ever since then I've just been wary of Clary Fortune. Love Redesigned. This is literally one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. Lauren Asher. I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before, but this cover is beautiful. Like, I would buy it just for the aesthetic alone. It's gorgeous. It makes me think it's gonna be about architects. No, not architects, sorry, engineers falling in love, because there's a bridge there. 5 stars. I'd read this. Oh, it's about billionaires too. It's a billionaire romance. Christina Lauren, The Paradise Problem. Did you guys know Christina Lauren is 2 people? I bet you didn't. Either way, yeah, I love them. 5 stars. The cover is not really colorful, and it's just like blue and yellow. It's cartoon characters, but I've already like seen a lot of books with cartoon characters. Like, I would just look at the cover, be like, oh, that's it, and then put it back. But I have heard Haley Pham talk about the plot of this book. Spoiler alert, it's kind of sad. So just from that idea also, I know I wouldn't want to read this book. So like 1 star. Set on You. No, I don't like the drawing of the guy's face. No, 0. Ali Hazelwood. My girl gets 4 stars. Summer Romance. Why is her finger crossed? Cause like, is she gonna cheat? Summer Romance, but like not really? What's gonna happen? I gotta say, the fingers crossed is gonna make me pick this book. 4 stars. A Novel Love Story. It's a book romance. No, 0 stars. Happiness for Beginners. See, this is not a romance. It's probably about a girl, like a woman in her 20s or 30s. I feel like it could be a book about finding yourself, which is right now a good time for me. So 3.5. No, this is like a picture. No. Emily Henry, Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation. I might have read this book. I'm not sure. Or I might have started and DNF'd it. I'm not sure. But with the name Emily Henry on it, 0. I'm not reading it. 1 star romance. Yo, she's on his book. Is he dating? Oh, is she an author? I thought, like, for some reason she was just a regular girl and he was reading a book about her life, and I was like, sign me up. You know what? 4 stars, because why is she on his book? I want to know. Game of Thrones. This is like, it's for me, it's like the ACOTAR series where like everyone says it's good. It could be like one of the greatest experiences of my life, but everyone that probably wants to read it has already read it, so they won't, like, if anything I'm hyped up about, they won't care because they're like, that was centuries ago. Plus, it's a big ass book, and I heard like the book series is not finished. The last book might not even come out ever, and I'm like, Do I want to read that? But at the same time, it's Game of Thrones. 2 stars. Out on a limb. And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that he has a prosthetic limb makes me want to read this because I like diversity and inclusion. I want to support people that write stories about diversity and inclusion because it doesn't show up so much in literature. Is that crazy? So if I saw this book, I would pick it up mainly just because he has a prosthetic limb. Heartless Hunter. Is that a moth? Is that even a real moth or like a bejeweled moth? Her deadliest enemy or her greatest love? Yeah, but is she a moth? Is he a moth? Who's a moth? See, the thing is, the cover is interesting, but I don't want to read anything with world building right now if it's not from like an author that I know people are already reading. So yeah, 0, I'd put it back. The Husbands. It just has the title. Like, I would put it back. I don't even know what it would be about. The Lost Story. This book seems cozy. Like, I don't know how big the actual book is, but it seems like it'd be small, like a cozy little read. 3.5 stars. The X-Files. Is this like a second chance romance in a vineyard? 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 I think it's vineyard. The cover is not giving anything. I don't really want to read this, so 0 stars. Haruki Murakami. What I talk about when I talk about running. A memoir. Oh, it's a memoir. I saw a post on Instagram that said Haruki Murakami is to boys what Colin Hoover is to girls. And then someone's comment was like super deep and was like, Haruki Murakami puts in like unnecessary sex scenes that are super graphic, and he puts in like too much unnecessary incest, and like the way he portrays women is degrading and blah blah blah. And I've never read any of his books, but just because a lot of people in the comments were like agreeing, I was like, maybe I'll stay away from him. And then there was like this one video of like Jack Edwards. I don't remember what Jack was saying, but he was not hyping this guy up, which makes me think I don't want to start reading him.
Haruki Murakami, his portrayal of women.
Yeah,
right. Like, that's
super
very
problematic.
common.
Talk about them like they were just tits on legs.
Reckless. Again, middle school me would have loved this, but right now, 2.5 stars. The Nightingale. Again, it feels like it would be about like a woman growing and finding herself. Sounds like it would slap. It's set in Paris? This could be 2.5 or 3.5. The Little Paris, a novel bookshop. What? The Little Paris bookshop, maybe? I wouldn't buy this book, but if I had it on my nightstand or if I got it for free from the library, I would read it. 3 stars. What You Wish For. Like, when the cover first came up, I don't know, it tickled a part of my brain because of how bright the colors were, and I was like, yeah, I would read this. It's gonna be a sad book, but it's gonna be about healing. Like, it's not gonna just end in like absolute sadness where you cry after you finish reading the book. It's gonna be like, it's sad, but they survived. Which, you know what, I could eat up. Like, this could be a 4. Assistant to the Villain. And this set in the Middle Ages. Like, there is a knight with arrows, a crow, fairies in a jar, Tinkerbell in a jar. Weapons of Destruction, One Job, Don't Fall for the Boss. It's a Penguin classic? Does Penguin release non-classics? I don't know, a lot is happening on the cover that just makes me interested, so 4.5. If I Never Met You by Mahari McFarlane, this was the book that put me off because I felt like some of the experiences she wrote of the main character was super foreign to me. Like, I could not relate to it for the girl, and I could not understand it. So I was like, it was just not an experience I enjoyed being a part of, and that's why I just didn't like Mahari McFarlane ever since then. The next book is nothing like the movies. Just by reading the cover, I know I wouldn't like it. I feel like the book will be too meta. Like, it'll spend all its time making fun of rom-coms. Because it's trying so hard to be quirky and to not be a rom-com, I feel like it would probably fall on its face. Definitely better now. I would read this because I hope it's not a romance. I hope it's just a story of like, what do I think the story's gonna be about actually? Because I was like, of a girl having fun by herself. Like, girl, she's curled up on a couch with a blanket. She's not having fun. I like the fact that I don't think it's a romance, but it still stars like a female lead. It feels like it'll be interesting. 4 stars. Ready or Not. Love shows up when you least expect it. Again, it's a rom-com with a shiny cover. 3 stars. Keeping 13. I also have this book on my iPad, so despite the fact that I think the cover is horrendous, 5 stars. I have no choice. I have the book. Who's that girl? It's Jess. Who's that girl? It's Jess. Mahari McFarlane, 1 star. Sally Rooney, Beautiful World, Where Are You? She wrote Normal People. And this book, this cover, I've seen it everywhere. It's super popular. People like her. But the thing is, I didn't read Normal People. I watched it, and I thought it was smut. This is not about the book. This is about the TV show, right? Like, I watched all of it, but I felt like the two leads didn't actually spend time talking to each other. They just had a lot of like dance with no pants. And then I felt like they might not have actually known each other, because there was a time when like she told him like, my mom said I have to get out of our apartment now. And then they didn't talk about it. They just had like sex. So I don't know if this book is also like heavily reliant on sex, especially since this year I'm not reading anything with smut, because I watched Normal People last year and I was like, okay, that's too much content you've consumed with naked people. So if this book has that much spice, I won't even be able to read it. But the cover is beautiful and it's like super famous. 2 stars. Emma of 83rd Street. I like the cover, 3 stars. The Wedding People. I don't know what to think the plot is, because they look like they're drowning, but she's like peace and booze. It depends. Like, this book seems like it would be in like Indigo with the big like $7 like, it'd be like a small book and it'd be one of those books you can get for $7, and I would buy it because it's $7. Yes, I don't know what the plot is, but I don't know, depressed girl in No Love Story always speaks to my soul. Margot's got money troubles, girl, so do I'm broke as heck. An audacious, wildly funny, completely unpredictable novel by a writer so singular that it's hard to compare her with anyone else. That person has an English degree, because that sentence was unnecessarily long. But yes, just the cover, everything about this book, the aesthetic is speaking to my soul. Like, 5, I would buy this book. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. Are they like a serial killer couple? Like, cause they're only holding like a Christmas tree, but it's crime. It's drawn like a comic book cover, so I probably won't read it. What is this cover? It's like 2 flags and then Christ on the cross, which is crazy. And then L'Arc de Triomphe. I think it's called L'Arc de Triomphe? I think so. And then like 2 flowers, 2 pink flowers, 2 tigers, and then a couple Glocks, and red hearts and roses. All of that on a daisy. That's like me when I'm popping off a Canva. It feels like I'm tripping just looking at it. But I feel like I wonder how on earth all of this connects to each other. 5 stars. Okay, so I basically just made my 2025 TBR. Are there like any books you guys saw that I said I would never read that you're like, girl, what the hell? I would read that in a heartbeat. Or like any book that I've made assumptions about that you're like, that's not what the plot is about at all. Tell me your thoughts. Okay, I gotta go. Bye-bye.